Welcome back to Devil's Tales, where the darkness always finds you. Tonight, we're venturing deep into the woods with a story that will make you think twice about hiking alone. What lurks among the trees of Dead Pine Trail isn't just watching, it's waiting. And once the sun goes down, the forest begins to change. Stay with me until the end. Because if you've ever felt that strange sensation of being followed in the woods, you're about to discover you were never truly alone. I've always preferred hiking alone. It's not that I hate people. I just like the silence. Out there in the woods, there's no pressure to talk, no deadlines, no emails, just trees, wind, dirt, and me. So when I stumbled across a barely mentioned trail called Dead Pine while planning a weekend trip up north, I was intrigued. No official website, no recent trail reviews, just a few blurry photos and some outdated directions on an old hiking forum. It sounded perfect. I blinked. I was planning on heading out before then anyway. He stepped closer, his eyes looked glassy now, almost like he wasn't fully seeing me. Ranger, no, I'm not warning you because of wildlife, or weather, or getting lost. I'm telling you because it gets inside the trees after sunset. My skin prickled. What does? He opened his mouth like he was going to say something else, but no sound came out, just silence. Then he shook his head, turned around, and walked back toward a weathered ranger station just beyond the trees. I stood there for a few moments, unsure if I should even go in, but I'm not exactly superstitious. I've heard plenty of overdramatic ranger stories in my time, people just trying to keep tourists cautious. So I did what I always do. I adjusted my pack, locked my car, and stepped onto the trail. I didn't know it then, but that was the last normal moment I'd have for a long time. Dead Pine Trail lived up to its name. The trees here weren't like the ones I'd hiked through before, tall, narrow, and unnaturally still. Even when the wind picked up, their branches didn't sway. No birdsong, no insects. Just this low, ambient hum, like the whole forest was holding its breath. About 30 minutes in, the path started to narrow. Roots tangled across the dirt like veins. A thick carpet of moss muted my footsteps. I paused at one point to take a drink of water and realized I couldn't hear anything. No wind, no rustling, just silence. Until the whispering started. At first I thought it was the wind, a faint hiss in the distance like leaves brushing against each other, but it wasn't random. The sound had a rhythm, a cadence, like words spoken just out of reach. I spun around, scanning the trees, nothing, just trunks and shadows. I told myself it was in my head, dehydration maybe, too much caffeine on the drive up. Then I saw it, a circle of stones just off the trail. 7 of them, each one worn and cracked, arranged in a perfect ring no more than 10 feet across. I hadn't noticed it on the way in, and I sure as hell hadn't stepped off the trail before now. The stones had markings on them. Faint, angular symbols scratched deep into their faces. Runes maybe? I'm not an expert, but they looked old. Very old. I stood there staring at the circle for a long time. The whispering got louder the closer I stepped. I felt a kind of pressure in the air, like something didn't want me there. Like the forest was watching me. I backed away slowly and checked my watch. 6:12 p.m. Shit. The sun was already dipping low. The light had gone from golden to a dull, smoky gray. I didn't have time to explore. I needed to turn back. But as I retraced my steps, something was wrong. The trail didn't look the same. Trees I'd passed earlier were gone. A fallen log I remembered stepping over was missing. The forest felt denser, like it was closing in, and no matter how far I walked, I never passed any of the landmarks I remembered on the way in. I pulled out my phone. No signal GPS spinning like crazy. The blue dot twitched in circles like it couldn't tell which way I was facing. Then, somewhere behind me, snap, a branch, broken underfoot. I froze. Snap, crunch, snap. It was pacing me. I spun around and shouted, "Hey, who's there?" No answer. Just that same damn humming noise. Soft, slow, familiar. A melody now, not random, almost like a lullaby. It seemed to come from inside the trees, echoing from the trunks themselves. And then, between 2 narrow pines, I saw movement, a shape. Thin, too tall to be human, pale, standing completely still, as if waiting for me to notice. I didn't stick around to get a better look. I ran. The humming followed. I don't know how long I ran. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe longer. Time stopped making sense somewhere between the second and third time I passed the same dead tree, a splintered pine with a deep gash down the middle that looked like a mouth. No matter how far I went, the trail looped. I kept ending up back near the stone circle, though I never saw it directly. I'd catch glimpses of one or two stones through the trees, just enough to know I hadn't gotten away. And the humming, God, that humming, was getting closer. Not louder, closer, like it was moving, like it was following. My legs were jelly, my lungs burned, but something in my gut told me if I stopped, even for a second, it would find me. I stumbled downhill, crashing through underbrush, branches slapping my face. At some point I dropped my water bottle, then my flashlight. I didn't care, I just needed to get out. Only the ranger station was different, windows boarded up, paint peeling. The whole thing sagged with age like it hadn't been used in decades. I ran up and banged on the door. No answer. I looked inside through a crack in the wood, cobwebs, empty shelves, dust everywhere. It's been 3 days. I haven't slept. Sometimes when I close my eyes I see bark cracking open and something smiling inside. And last night I walked past the woods near my apartment. There were no pines there before, but now there's one. Just one. And it's humming. If you felt that chill down your spine, hit that like button, and share this tale with someone who needs to be reminded of what waits in the woods after dark. Subscribe to Devil's Tales for a new nightmare every week, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss what's lurking around the corner. Leave a comment below with your own strange forest encounters. I read them all. And remember, just because you've left the forest, doesn't mean the forest has left you. Until next time, this has been Devil's Tales, where your darkest fears always find their way home.